Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SA Accounting Academy. Here's a short clip on one of our previous webinars. I hope that you really do enjoy it.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Goeiemôre, meneer en dames. Welcome to our monthly compliance and legislation update for September. We've had to postpone it by a week. Coming to you live today from ICU, actually. Just goes to show you're never sick enough to present a training course. They've graciously moved me to a private ward because ICU is quite hustling and bustling with loads of background noises. So they've moved me to a private ward now where I can just close the door and you guys can just focus and listen to my voice for the next 2 hours. All right, so I'm sorry if I'm not my usual bubbly self. We'll still go through the same amount of work and I will definitely try my best to give you the quality that you are used to. All right. But thank you very much for everybody's well wishes. Hope it's nice and cool where you are. I can actually, today is the first time in a week that I'm actually looking out a window to see that it's actually nice and overcast. Other than that, I have to watch on the news what's going on outside. Quite shocking, actually. All right, so let's get started. As I said, we're going to be doing the changes through the month of August, and we'll be focusing on obviously some of the more important areas. All right, you'll still get all the source documents uploaded to your profiles, so that will still happen. All right. Let's have a quick squiz. Those of you that aren't used to me yet, there's my profile as a presenter. Let's have a look at what's on the agenda for today. On my agenda, I know after the webinar, I'm scheduled for a blood transfusion and an iron drip. So I'll be lying merrily and just be on the receiving end. Right, but your table of contents looks quite different today. In terms of the accounting update, we've only got 2 items. 6 items under the auditing update. There have been quite a couple of developments on the URBA front. So I would like to take you through all of those guides. Company secretarial has been really quiet. As you remember last month with Karen, there were quite a couple. And even this month that's passed now, September, I have been monitoring that and it's also been very, very quiet. But there was one directive document that I think we just need to go through, and I would like to work my way through that with you. Then in terms of the COVID-19 update, remember we decided last month with Karen that we're going to be stopping the COVID-19 updates. I mean, we're in level 1 now, so really the majority of the COVID-19 stuff anyway during the month of August was all about the TERS payments. Then it's suspended, then it's reinstated, then it's suspended again, then it's reinstated again, then it's suspended again, and then they have the AG that found some mistakes, and then they try and correct it. So the good thing about it is they were actually very responsive. They did actually try to fix it immediately, which is always a good thing. All right, so they don't just let it go on. And I know it's annoying, but I don't know if you guys subscribe to LinkedIn. You're more than welcome to follow us as SA Accounting Academy on LinkedIn. What I do every day is I post a technical update or just a technical alert on things like this is new and the TERS payments have been suspended, or just a guide that's available or something like that. Excuse me. All right, so if you're not following us on LinkedIn yet, please feel free to do so. You can just go and follow SA Accounting Academy. They post it for me every single day. Right, so that's under the COVID-19 update. The only thing I've got is a little bit of a clarification on vulnerable employees. Under employment law, there's only 1 item. Under other laws and regulations, there's just the 1 item, which is our normal SAICA legal update document with our big 5. And then as usual for the taxation side, lots of items, but really easy ones this month. There are a couple of ones that I have explained in a little bit more detail, and I would like to go through those with you. And then under regulator news, we've got 6 items. And then under general announcements, just one item that I thought it just caught my eye. All right, as I read through that. So that's what's on our agenda for today. My quote for today is actually quite apt, right? I don't know who says this, but I normally quote them quite regularly. As long as we have something to complain about, it means that we actually have something to be thankful for, right? Because it means you've got something that you moan about. It might mean that somebody else doesn't even have that. So whenever you moan about something or you feel ungrateful, remind yourself that you've got at least that one thing more than somebody else, and that's actually something to be thankful for. All right. That's our philosophy 101. Let's move on to the accounting update now. And in the accounting update, we're looking at the IFRS monthly news summary. Now, in the monthly news summary, we really don't have a lot of items this month. There were, I think, 8 items all in all, but it's like the investor update that was published and webcasts that are available. And it's really the recordings of the 4th webinar was there on general presentation disclosures in English and Japanese and Korean. So unless you are mastering those languages, we don't really need that. All right. The comprehensive review of IFRS and IFRS for SMEs. Karen's already been through that with you last month, so I won't be duplicating that. So if you need any more detail, you can actually access it. All of these documents will be included for you as part of your source documents. Right. And then they're also asked to complete a 20-minute survey to help with the current eIFRS site and all the possible new features. So, there's really nothing new and exciting, as I would say. Nothing really worthwhile that's mind-blowing that we need to know about. Okay. So that's why you've got there nothing really new or important. The second item I thought was very interesting, and I would like to give this to you as a useful one. Where and how should the COVID-19 impacts be presented in the income statement and the related notes? So remember now that whether or not a company at this stage presents its COVID-19 impacts on the face of the income statement or they disclose them in the notes, it will actually depend on the pervasiveness of those impacts on the company and the ability to quantify them reliably. Because remember, you can only disclose if you can quantify reliably. Otherwise, you'd have to disclose the facts and the circumstances, and that would more often than not pull pull through from the director's report, right? Or maybe just in a note. So it becomes important to say, can you actually quantify the items reliably or not? And pervasiveness also, pervasiveness in Afrikaans is deurslaggewend. So it's that ripple effect where you've got one small um, pebble in a pond, and because of that pebble, there's just ripple after ripple after ripple. That's pervasiveness, right? So that one little pebble affects everything. So really, the coronavirus pandemic is affecting the financial performance of many companies. We know that. And companies may intend to highlight and explain the impacts. Because remember, the users of the financial statements have been putting more pressure on the companies lately to provide that sort of information. And not just quantitative info, but also qualitative info about them either inside or outside the financials. So whether it is part of the income statement or whether it goes into the director's report, it doesn't really matter. This is an article that I found written by KPMG. Now I don't normally include these articles unless they really make sense to me and I find them of very high value. So the document you'll find is available to you as a source document. The whole publication is available to you as a source document. But the article basically explores how the companies might present the impacts in the income statement.
I hope that you enjoyed that video. For more of our webinar videos, go to www.accountingacademy.co.za. Thank you and have a lovely day.